Well, hello and welcome to the Brian Hornback podcast. This is episode number 26. 26. Hope you're doing well. Before we get started, the last couple of episodes, we've kind of left out some of our friends who support the Brian Hornback website, the brianhornback.com website, and don't really want to do that on a continual basis, especially two of them that are very instrumental and have been with us for a number of years. First of all, if you're in the market for a house, or if you're wanting to sell your house, you need Julia Hurley at the Just Homes Group in Knoxville, Tennessee. And she's not just limited to Knoxville. She can buy and sell anywhere in the state of Tennessee. She'll help you no matter where you're at. So look Julia Hurley up at thejusthomesgroup.com. Her direct line number is 865-237-7324. Julia Hurley at thejusthomesgroup.com. She's affiliated with Realty Executives in Farragut, Tennessee. Do a couple of publicity shots here for the covers. Also, Interagency Insurance. My friend Lou Moran III and his wife Mimi Moran, they operate Interagency Insurance. It is a family business. His father started Interagency back in about 1966, and they can help you in just about any type of insurance, business insurance, just about anything that you need. Again, it started in 1966, and they can write insurance in about 38 states, I believe, and you can find them on the web at agencyinsurance.com, or you can give them a call here in Knoxville, Tennessee, 865-637-4519. But again, they're not limited to Knoxville. They're limited, like I say, they can write in 38 states, so they're not limited. So give them a call. Even if you've got insurance, give them a call. Let them shop it around and see what they can do. And in this world of COVID and the post-COVID era, they can potentially save you money long term. So give Lou and Mimi a call at Interagency Insurance here in Knoxville, Tennessee. They're located off of Baum Drive. Their office is located off of Baum Drive, but Lou will go just about anywhere you want him to be. All right, we got that out of the way. What else going on? Well, the commission has finally, I guess, kind of dealt with their issue with the Board of Health. We've talked about that. We've worn that out. But this week at the school board workshop, there was a lot of discussion by folks about the mask mandate. The superintendent of schools came out and basically indicated that he's going to continue the mask into the next school year because he's going to follow the CDC, which is all well and good. But you know what? The CDC has changed their position how many times? Looks like I'm going to hold this microphone. They have changed that their position so many times that it's really it's kind of crazy, to be honest with you, how many times they've changed. And so to go ahead and commit, you're gonna have to deal with this for just a minute, because I need to get this where I can hold it, because the stand is not cooperating. I apologize for those sounds. Again, you've got a podcaster here who is only in his 26th podcast. So hey, there you go. Okay, we're just gonna hold this sucker like this right here. Anyway, so the superintendent came out with that recommendation in a week ago, this past Friday, and so they had about 30 folks show up at the school board workshop on Wednesday, and they were really upset about it. And so, again, we're making decisions in April for what's going to happen in August or September. Again, let's go back and look. The Board of Health, not necessarily the Board of Health, but the CDC has changed their position time and time again. As more and more people get vaccinated, those issues are going to become kind of. I mean, some of them are going to be open, right? So there was a lot of discussion there, and there was a lot of consternation about the fact that the board has continued while they've been meeting. They've continually met over at the AJ building, which is limited seating, and many of the people who I'll try to hold this mic pretty solid so you don't hear that, but the people have really said, look, the problem has been that the people who are there to talk against the mask issue have been subjected to the lobby area or another room and required to watch closed circuit TV. So the board made a decision that went out in a press release late last week, and I'll try to get it up on the blog tonight. This is Sunday, April the 11th, I think. And I'll try to get up a press release announcing their locations, but they're going to bounce back and forth between the large assembly room at the City County building and the AJ building. And primarily, I believe that's to try to address the concerns that they were really treating the public differently. They were subjecting the public to a room not with everyone else. They could only come into the main room when they were called to do their public forum speaking. And so I think that's the reason they've decided to go to the small assembly room. Again, a reasonable man could conclude that based on having heard the arguments last week extensively. It was about a 5-hour meeting, and it got rather contentious between the school board member Evity Satterfield in the 1st District and some of the folks who are what we would call anti-mask. And that was interesting to watch. So we'll see how it goes. Again, as I've said on this podcast and I've said on the blog, I'm not here to argue for or against masking. I wear a mask. My employer requires I wear a mask. I think it's the right thing to do. I will be fully vaccinated. Well, I will have the second shot within the week, and then it'll be 2 weeks after that I'll be fully vaccinated. And that's a decision for everybody to make. But for me and my house, we're getting vaccinated. So it is what it is. I believe in the flu shot, and I take the flu shot every year, and I take the pneumonia shot. It is what it is. Not a big deal to me. But I understand, hey, look, I'm all about free speech. Those people who like to talk bad about me, like to try to cancel culture this blog and now this podcast, hey, have at it. I don't have to have this. I do it because it's my passion, and I'm going to continue doing it. So enjoy. City council races. Let's talk about those. City council races are in 2021. There's 5 city council districts up. The only district not up is District 5. So District 1, District 2, District 3, District 4, District 6 are the ones up. And all of those individuals are eligible for re-election. And all of those are running for re-election. There are some potential opponents for most of them, at least for 4 of the 5. The one that I don't think that they have an opponent for right now is Seema Singh, and she's in District 3, I believe. And so I know that District 1, there's at least 2 potential opponents against Tommy Smith. Tommy Smith's only been in office about a year, so he's going to be running basically as a newbie. He has Elizabeth Murphy and David Hayes picked up a petition this week. In District 2, Andrew Roberto has a father and son that have picked up petitions, and I think there may be another candidate coming forth in that race. Seema Singh is in District 3. Right now, I don't think that there's been a candidate that has come forth to get a petition against Seema. And then in District 4 is Lauren Ryder. She has an opponent in Jim Claneris. He and his wife have a restaurant called Cafe 4. They've also been restaurateurs in Knoxville for a number of years. They had the Kalamata Kitchen and a few other things. He had a campaign kickoff and fundraiser this past week. Had about, from what I understand, a little over 100 people, which, some people can say, hey, that's not very many people. But when you look at what the dollar amount was for the potential fundraiser, and you add that to the number of people, he raised some pretty good money. So that's in District 4. District 5 is not up at this time. District 5 runs, that's Charles Thomas. He runs with the folks that are in the 3 city council at larges. He ran a couple years ago in 19, and he'll be up again in 23. And then District 6 is Vice Mayor Gwen McKenzie. Her husband's in the legislature, Sam McKenzie, former county commissioner, and she has an opponent in Deidre Harper, and also an opponent in Garrett Holt. Garrett Holt was educated, I believe, at West High School, and went on to post-secondary education. So that race will be interesting. Deidre Harper helping run a family business and being an entrepreneur herself. So District 6 will be interesting. I will have more on BrianHornback.com about District 6, and in particular some of the issues that are going on in District 6 with violence, with shootings, and all those lovely things. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll see how active the city mayor, Indy Kincannon, gets in supporting the current city council members. Obviously, I think they're working together pretty well. What I will say about this is, I'm open to covering every race. I'll give the incumbents as much space as I give challengers. The biggest thing about BrianHornback.com is this: I believe that everybody that puts their name on the ballot has a right to be heard and has a right to be represented in the media. And so I will continue to do that, and I will continue to support candidates who put their names on the ballot. And that's very important to me, because I've been the underdog. I was a 23-year old challenger running against a 23-year incumbent back in 100 years ago. And, I understand what it means when the media doesn't think you have a chance and doesn't support you. And so for that reason, I'm adamant about, if you send me your information, I will publish your information, and I will give you press. I will show up at your events if you invite me to your events. If you don't invite me to your events, I will reach out to your people, and I will get pictures and I will get information so that I can put a story up about your event. So to all the candidates, those that have picked up treasure forms and those that have not, those who have not had, we're not even at the filing deadline yet for these candidates. We will just keep in mind that BrianHornback.com will help you, even if you advertise or don't advertise. We will do what we can to get your information out. So with that said, that's where we're at. I think only one so far has reached out, and that was Deidre Harper. She did send her announcement that she's running, and so that was great to see. But again, Gwen McKenzie is welcome to send her information. Garrett Holt's welcome to send his information, and we will cover them all. So what's going on this week? School board is meeting again. They're moving their meeting on Wednesday to the large assembly room. I'm anticipating a large group at the large assembly room for the school board meeting to talk about masks and mask upon the students and the faculty at the Knox County schools, not only through the remainder of this year, but in particular next year. I don't think they're really, from what I understand, they're not really making that big a deal about the mask through the remainder of this year, which will end by Memorial Day, by the May, whatever Memorial Day is, before the 31st of May. And so I don't think they're making that big a deal. High schools did have proms this weekend. I saw a lot of that on Facebook, and that was good to see because last year they didn't have proms due to the pandemic. So things are coming back for the schools, and that's good to see. So we'll be watching the school board on Wednesday. And in the future, we've got, Larson J this weekend. Some cards went into mailboxes to inform people about his re-election kickoff. It's a barbecue on Sunday, May the 2nd from noon to 3 at Lakeshore Park. Interesting that a lot of political candidates, and when I've talked to political candidates, I've encouraged them not to have a public event on Sunday because, again, we're in the buckle of the Bible Belt. I think if you go back and listen to episode 25, I talked about that. But he's having an event after church on Sunday, May the 2nd, barbecue lunch to kick off his campaign. So we'll see how that goes. I suspect we'll be seeing a lot more of these candidates in 2022 to start announcing, start having some kickoff events now that the pandemic's kind of on the outside, on the downhill slide. So that's about it for now, as the dog is getting fidgety, wanting to go outside. And we will close episode 26 pretty quick. And hope y'all have a great week. And we'll be back really soon. Thank you very much.